Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the broadcast. We're broadcasting live tonight from South Boston, Virginia, and, of course, South Boston Speedway. You can hear in the background the practice that's going on behind us. We want to thank Mr. Jerry Hatchett with Hatchett Transportation Incorporated. He provides our headquarters here on the infield tonight for open practice for South Boston, and it's good to kick off the broadcast tonight with General Manager of South Boston Speedway. Always nice to have Kathy Rice to talk to.
It's nice to be here, John, and we really appreciate, as you said, Jerry Hatchett bringing his RV in, and we appreciate WKRX and Channel 10 being here as well.
Great. So far, your season, is it everything you thought or expected it would be, maybe a little bit more?
I think we've had a little bit more this year, John. Fans have been great. The car count's been good. Of course, we'd like for it to be better, but the points are really tight in the late model stock with 2 points with first and second and third and fourth 2 points. So we've had a good year.
Atlantic Seaboard point standings real tight. Doug Gotze leading the points at Southampton. Took that over after last Friday night. This is a big weekend, not just for the race fans, but for the drivers themselves. It's a turning point of the season with only a couple of more weeks left to decide the Atlantic Seaboard region. It's a big weekend, not just for people like H.C. Sellers and folks who are coming up in a moment, but Timothy Peters and more so Brandon Butler, who really needs to make it happen this weekend with any shot at winning the Atlantic Seaboard Championship.
That's right. I was talking to Brandon yesterday, and I know the pressure's really on him right now with Gotze taking over the regional lead, but you do know that he does have to be leading the points at Southampton to be eligible for the regional champion, and right now I think it's like 20 points difference in the point system there, and Brandon is still leading the points.
And a twist this weekend if Timothy turns it around and, of course, turns his points around, takes the lead this weekend. What does that mean for Timothy Peters?
That's right. Like I said just a few minutes ago, it's only 2 points difference, and then this weekend we'll tell the story, and if not, then the next race, September the 15th, double points will really tell the story then.
That's the final race that drivers can collect those regional points. Sunday, I guess the 16th, the closing day that week, that's when they announce the national champion and all the regional champions.
That's right, and also that'll be the last day, September the 15th, for our track points here too.
Well, this weekend it's Nilla Night. Tell us about Nilla Night. The Gatorade Twin 75's coming up.
Nilla Night presents the Gatorade Twin 75s, and Nilla is one of NASCAR Weekly sponsors now. We've got a billboard on the back straight away there showing that Nilla is one of the, it's a official cookie of NASCAR.
It's going to be a great weekend this weekend. You've got a heavy schedule, and therefore you have a different time schedule that you set for this weekend's racing action.
That's right. We'd like to tell everybody that we will be starting at 6:30, green flag. The grandstand gates will open at 4:30. Also, we're going to have fireworks Saturday night too.
Now, you didn't tell us about that. I didn't see it, but I didn't hear about the fireworks.
No, I wanted that to be a surprise because the fireworks here July the 3rd, I think the fans really liked them, so we're getting those guys back, and we're going to have fireworks that Saturday night as well.
Well, if people hear about it, they'll definitely be out Saturday night. Fireworks, even though those drivers, people come to watch the drivers, the fireworks that you put on here this July 4th holiday were pretty spectacular.
We hope so, and we hope that we have fireworks on the track as well as in the sky, so we want to invite everybody out Saturday night.
Rest of the year, Kathy, you've got the Craftsman Truck Series next month. That's a lot on the line, big day, couple of days there. They end up the month of September. How about ticket sales and the things that people, the number they can call to get advance tickets?
We have a toll-free number, and I don't know what the number is, but they can go to tickets.com and order the tickets. We're all online now with tickets.com.
And SouthBostonSpeedway.com as well.
That's correct. And also, we don't want anybody to forget the Usac. We've got them here October the 13th with Tony Stewart running with us.
Tony Stewart. Now, how did you get Tony Stewart to run the Usac race? Who twisted his arm?
I think Joe Mattioli did that, the owner of the track. Of course, they're running in Martinsville that weekend, so that's a plus for us as well. And then we'll end out the season with the Bailey's Hometown Challenge 300.
Mac Bailey and the family, they've done a lot for racing. When you go to racetrack, you see a Bailey's car somewhere in late model limited competition in the state of North Carolina and Virginia.
That's correct. I think Mac has done a great job with all of his cars this year, and the sponsors that we've got from him and all, I think he's done a really good job with us.
Well, Kathy, thank you so much. And I know you guys are already getting ready and putting plans together for 2002. It's been a first real big trial year with a lot of new things. You probably learned a lot. Next year you'll be back. You'll be a veteran at whatever you do.
Well, thank you, John. And we'll have a lot of big surprises for next year. We've got planned a lot of touring events, but I won't comment on which ones, but we got some new ones coming in next year.
Very good, Kathy. You're off the hook. Kathy Rice, General Manager of South Boston Speedway. We're going to let Kathy out of here. She's going to get a big breath of fresh air. And we're going to bring up now H.C. Sellers and Peyton Sellers, the Sellers family. We've got them up here tonight. They get ready to head back. H.C.'s got some work to do on his car. In preparation, we get to the brothers up here. And, of course, just as Ward and Jeff Burton has made South Boston famous, these two guys are trying to make, I guess, Danville and Ringgold just as famous. But good to have the Sellers brothers on tonight.
I appreciate you having us on, John.
Yeah, well, it's just a good thing, the opportunity worked out where we were here practicing tonight at the South Boston Speedway to come by.
Well, HC, you guys, what are you guys doing up here exactly? I know Peyton needs some laps under his belt here, but you've got plenty of them. I know this weekend you're ready to go.
Yeah, well, I tell you, we come down a little earlier today and practiced and run a little bit. Ran pretty decent, but really Thursday night's always different from Saturday night, so we decided to go ahead and load up and try our luck Saturday night. And Peyton had his motor torn down Saturday at Orange County, so we come down here to make sure everything was okay on it. And really, you're never fast enough, so all the seat time and all the practicing you do, it helps us both.
Real tight point race for first, but also now between you and Eddie Johnson. Eddie put a Ford in victory lane here last race out, and he had tried so hard to get here. And you've been close, so second place finishes and top five to put you right in the points chase.
Yeah, I've always said you had to be running there to get into a win. You never are running 10th and luck into a win. So we're running where we need to be right now to win a race. And I'd like to get like Jim and go ahead and get that first one out of the way. And Eddie Johnson as well, them guys race hard and work hard, and that's what we've been trying to do, and maybe we can go ahead and get that first win. I tell you, Steve James and all the guys have been working hard this year, and we've had some good opportunities, and things just not quite go right, and different things happening. So, maybe we can get our first one this weekend.
Real good race, your best shot at win. You come real close. You probably could have won that race, but I believe Timothy Peters won that race, 2 races ago, that you were just shy of getting the win.
Yeah, he did. I tell you, I all but wrecked him, and, it was just good, hard racing. I mean, Timmy did what he had to do, and I was trying to do what I had to do as well. But he had a lot on the line, and it was his first race he won since his dad had died, and I didn't want to be the one to wreck him to win that race, and which I don't want to any race. But I tell you, he's a real clean guy, and I tell you, we've had some good races together this year.
Peyton, Mr. Dominated Orange County Speedway this year. The other guy's been having a hard time keeping up with your car, the 58 machine.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we've been working hard all season. We had a little bad luck to start off with, but we rebounded pretty good, and with AC's help and A&E race cars, good, strong Kowalski motor, we've been able to come back, and right now, knock on wood, we're kind of on top right now, and hopefully finish out that way for the season.
Now, obviously, you've been trying out a late model stock car, test driving it, so to speak. Next year, the Sellers brothers, any chance you guys are going to race head-to-head at the same track, or will you look at maybe running 2 different racetracks?
Well, I don't know right now. We're pretty content, helping each other at each different track. I know Dad really likes it. It's easier on his pocketbook, but
yeah, really, we're not in the position right now to afford 2 cars torn up in the same night, and really, as far as us racing head-to-head, it would actually hurt both of us as far as our performance, because we don't have enough pit crew or and like I said, I helped him a whole lot at the track, and he helps me a lot, and it would be just detrimental to both of us to be able to run against each other.
So will you run Orange County, or vice versa?
More than likely, yeah. I'm about 90% sure right now, but if the right deal worked out with sponsorship, we possibly could race against each other.
But we'll see how that goes.
Exactly right.
That's right.
Well, guys, I know Peyton, you're still in high school, man. A lot of people think you graduated a couple of years ago, but you've been racing so long. But what have you been doing back at high school? You tried football for a while. What's going on now?
Yeah, well, school started back Monday, so I'm going full hard at it. Trying to graduate this year. Playing football right now. We had a scrimmage game last night and won, so I'm going to hang with it and try not to get hurt this year.
So what does Peyton Sellers play, by the way? What position?
Well, right now I'm kind of swing player. I play anywhere on the offensive line and starting defensive end.
So pretty much what you do up here helping HC on the race car.
That's correct.
Whatever is needed. Hey, guys, good to have you on the show tonight, and pretty neat deal.
I appreciate it, John. I'd just like to take a minute and thank all the guys that help us on the crew every week. I normally don't get to thank them a lot, and sponsors. Me and him have a whole lot of sponsors. If we've got just a second, and I'd like to thank Advance Auto Parts and Danville Community College, and Jarrett Welding Company, Cloverdale Lumber Company, and Riverside Equipment Company. All these guys have been a big asset to us, and me and him both racing, and I'm sure he's got a couple he'd like to mention as well.
Yeah, I tell you, Danville Toyota, they stepped on board this year and helped us out a lot.
I told somebody on the radio broadcast, pretty good when you get a Toyota sponsor and you're driving a Chevrolet.
Yeah, I really don't know how we worked that out, but I'm just glad it did. All those people out there are really happy about the racing situation right now. And 58 restaurant, they own 58 coming into Danville. We eat there about every night. And Jarrett Weldon, Forestry and Construction.
So Mom don't cook every night?
Yeah, she cooks right often, but she's got a busy schedule. She's got a busy schedule for church and everything involved. Forestry and Construction, they really help us a lot out of Lynchburg, Virginia. They have all your used and new parts for any kind of Caterpillar equipment. Newell's Body Shop here in South Boston, they've had to do a lot of work for us pretty recently, but I guess that about does it. Other than the crew, Tom Worley, Les Young, it's a lot of people there to help us, and don't want to call out too many names because we'll leave one off. But
Caswell Pines, you guys swing the golf clubs?
Every now and then. I hadn't played in a while, but it's just hard to find time to do that.
Yeah, anybody out there that knows racing knows it's hard to have another hobby, and especially when you try to do your best at it. And I tell you, it's good to have them helping us, and we get out there and play as much as we can. It's a real nice place.
But is it as frustrating as it is sometimes as a race car, or vice versa?
If it was, I couldn't imagine it.
Guys, good to have you on the show tonight, and appreciate you stepping in. We got another character, a first-time winner this year at South Boston, going to be coming up, and we'll talk to him. But good luck this weekend. Limited running Monday?
Monday night. Yep, and then we'll come back the following Saturday night and race. Hopefully just stay out of trouble Monday night and come back Saturday night.
Okay, good luck. Good job.
Thank you.
HC Sellers and Peyton Sellers, and good to see family out here racing in competition at the NASCAR tracks at Orange County, South Boston, and both of them are doing very well in the point standings for the 2001 racing season. So we're going to move on through the broadcast tonight, and we've got Hatchet Transportation Incorporated. They are providing the vehicle tonight here in our show here on the infield at South Boston Speedway, and we did want to thank Mr. Hatchet for providing our infield, I guess you could say, show center here for the Race Talk broadcast tonight. But the man has done very well in late model stock, but most recently he's got a lot of fans. I always noticed he had a big fan base, but after that win, Jim Sink, your fan base grew, I believe.
I tell you, it ain't nothing like a win to bring him in there. But South Boston has been real great to me. The fan base up here has been tremendous. That's one of the biggest reasons why we choose this track to be our home track, is the fan base is so good to us here in South Boston. The people in South Boston from the time we started this track has just come on board and hung with us through thick and thin and hung with us, and we got there.
Good year so far, and this weekend, Twin 75s. I guess you've learned to maybe love these twins a little bit. It got you your first career NASCAR win here at South Boston.
Well, yeah, I can't argue with that. The Twins, I do prefer the longer races, believe it or not, but the Twins have been good. We haven't had too much success in the Twins until we did get the win. Early in the year, we've had some situations, and that's really what's gotten us behind in the points this year and everything. But we've been working out this new Townsend car. It's a brand new car we've never driven before, and new motors, and from Darrell Poe there, and the power under the hood. And we've just been trying to get a good feel for it and work it out, and we've been getting some good test session this year.
Well, good luck this weekend. Kathy said we're going to have fireworks. I didn't know that, but if the fans find out, that just adds a little spice to the racing action. She's got 7 races on the card, so you couldn't ask for anything better on a Saturday night. No,
that's the thing about it. Is here at South Boston and Cassie, they do a great job with the fireworks and the shows and the entertainment for the people. I mean, you get a really good show here. You get good top quality racing, but you also get good after stuff with the fireworks and so forth. So I mean, that's what's so great about South Boston.
Okay, Jim Sink, he's been our guest here for the last few minutes. Good luck this weekend, Jim.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Jim Sink, he's going to be in action. Diamond Star Homes on board his machine as he races in action. We want to thank again Mr. Jerry Hatchet, Hatchet Transportation Incorporated, out of Bassett, Virginia, providing our mobile unit here on the infield. So we really appreciate him providing that. Do want to ask our IGA trivia question tonight, IGA fan pack for the folks listening back at Roxborough on 96.7 WKRX-FM. Ned Jarrett holds the NASCAR Winston Cup record for the greatest margin of victory in one race. He won the 1965 Southern 500 by how many laps? If you can name the driver, or you can name how many laps he finished ahead of the rest of the field, and that was the 1965 Southern 500. We'll give you the IGA fan pack tonight. Do want to bring in, we've got our guest tonight. He drives one of the Bailey Chevrolets in competition. He happens to be Jonathan Bailey here tonight, stepping up in the go-karts a year ago. And Jonathan, you out here practicing tonight. How's it going for this weekend?
It's going really good. Made some changes from the last weekend, and it really seemed to pick the car up a whole lot. I feel good about Saturday night right now. So hopefully, come Saturday, we won't be terribly bad as we have been before, but it also is a rookie season for me, and I know it's going to be ups and downs and definitely a learning experience, but it's going better right now.
The Bailey's family's been a big part of racing for a long time. The last couple of years, your dad's really stepped up in supporting NASCAR short track racing in the state of Virginia and North Carolina, and it's just awesome. I think he's played probably a bigger role now in some of the careers of these drivers as anyone that's been involved in racing as far as sponsorship.
Definitely. I mean, from Myrtle Beach up to, Manassas, Old Dominion Speedway, I think he's got 12 or 13 different drivers he's helping out, and all of them seem to be doing really well for him. Plus, it's a really good opportunity for advertising, selling the product. People can see the cars, and you see Bailey's in the stores, and it's an automatic hookup right there to buy cigarettes.
A lot of different late model stock drivers, and I know you guys will be pulling for not just yourself this weekend. Brandon Butler here at South Boston Speedway needs to pick him up a win or two.
Yeah, Brandon's he's really good. I mean, he's taught me a lot. He's got in the car. He's shown me different things. He's coached me on the radio. He's an awesome guy to work with. I'm glad he's on my team. So maybe if I can move up to late model, hopefully he'll help me instead of being such stiff competition. But I hope Brandon can get a win. He's really close in the region, and he really could use a good win.
You've really, your team's really stepped up as late. I've noticed you're getting better in qualifying. You look smoother in the race car. And your time's coming real soon in limited sports. Is it because you're newlywed? Is that what helped this deal out a little bit, the performance?
It could be. It could be. I think last weekend we came here in the limousine right after the race. I don't think my wife really liked it, but she knew how much I love racing. And of course that night we were tired and wore out anyway, but we still had a decent run. But I don't know. It's just steadily learn something new every day and put it to use, and have great people like Johnny Thompson, Charles Bowens, Scott Kravats, just about everybody on the drives of Bailey's cars helped me. So I've got a lot of good people behind me.
Well, the only thing about it, you've done that. If she wants to go to the ballet or anything, you're going to have to go with her. That's payback.
As long as it's on Friday night and not Saturday night.
Okay, Jonathan, thank you for stepping up. Appreciate you coming in tonight. Jonathan Bailey, driver one of the Bailey Chevrolets. More guests on Race Talk tonight. We've got a special guest coming in on the broadcast. Didn't know he was here today, but he is here today. Timothy Peters, good to have you in our infield, I guess you could say, Race Talk Center tonight as we get ready for a big weekend. This is pressure time.
Oh, it's pressure time, it's coming down to the wire right now, but hey man, this is cool, you get to come down in the pits, live remote, hear the cars and the action outside, so this is pretty nice, and just appreciate you and WKRX and everybody just having me on.
Yeah man, you've really been coming on strong as of late. Brandon Butler only holding, a couple of point lead? What, is it 2 points coming into this weekend?
It's a 2-point lead, but he's going to be coming out with his gunning pretty hard. So we came over earlier today and did a little practicing to try to stay up on our game, so he won't get ahead of his. But he's going to be gunning hard, and so is everybody else. Just hope we can keep it in one piece and maybe finish in front of him.
How was practice today? I know sometimes you try a lot of things, but I know you've been running real well, so I'm sure you didn't do a complete changeover.
We didn't change much, just mainly minor stuff. So the car was running pretty good. When we first got here, the sun was out, and later on we stayed after Ford probably about 45 minutes, and a cloud cover came over, and the car was working pretty good. So hopefully we can come back Saturday and the car just picks up where it left off today.
It is a pretty nice deal. You've been able to go on after Tony's passing, and the fans been pulling for you. It's been a tough time for you, but you have just stepped up to the plate, and you're really doing the best job that anyone could possibly do in the situation. And it is important, I know. It's 2 points. Brandon Butler's got a lot on the line. He's been a 4th, 5th place car last race or two. Hadn't looked like himself. Eddie Johnson won the last race. We got some new winners. Jim Sink won a few weeks ago back July 4th weekend. So this weekend, your chance to maybe crack that to lead the point standings would put you on stage in Orlando, Florida, and I know you're thinking about that.
It would be nice, my main thing is just want to win the championship. because mainly just even more fuel, with my dad passing. I want to do it for myself and for him, and to bring it home to Goo and Dolly. They just been awful good to me this year, and just hope we can just keep up the good work. It doesn't matter if we come out here and we don't win another race. I can't complain one bit about the way my season went this year. So,
how about Goo falling? A lot of people wonder how Goo's doing. He ain't been back to the race much.
Goo, he's doing good. It's taking some time, right now, but he's a strong man, and look forward to seeing him back at the racetrack.
This is a big weekend. Vanilla wafers, Vanilla Night, and Gatorade. Two of NASCAR's fine supporters supporting the race. And Kathy surprised me a while ago. I hadn't seen a press release, but fireworks, just like the 4th of July, Saturday night.
We're looking forward to it. I tell you, Joe Mattioli and Kathy Rice, they put on a great show, and that's why I like coming down to South Boston and being a part of everything. Toughest competition there is down here, and just like coming and racing there. Nice place. They do everything they can to help the drivers. So, just hope we can continue on.
Twin 75s, pretty much different from the 100, 150 lap races. It's a sprint. You maybe don't have to save the tires in the car quite like you do in those longer hauls.
Well, everybody's going to be gunning what they got first laps or two, and so we're going to just try to stay on our game and be there when it counts. We're going to abuse our stuff, but we're going to try to take care of it at the same time. So it's going to be quite interesting. Everybody's going to be running hard. We're going to try to run hard, and just it's going to be a great night.
It's going to be next month coming up. I know you're looking forward to it. The Taco Bell 300. You guys had such a phenomenal run there last year. You'd rather forget the oxygen deal, I know, but just an awesome run. Pretty much David Triplett, he's looking forward to coming. Orange County's representative did so well in competition as well last year. He came down and qualified real well. Taco Bell 300, 125 cars, 130 late model stock cars, and you guys were two of the highlights of this series late model stock competition.
Well, I tell you, we went up there, and that was my first race for Goo and Dolly Falling, so we had a real good run. Just hope we can go back up there and back up what we done. It's a great place. It's kind of like the Daytona late models, so we go up there and maybe we can produce.
And of course, you love to beat Brandon in the Bailey's 300 coming up later on this year.
Well, I tell you, we want to concentrate on doing good, and we don't want to let some of the success we have kind of sidetrack us, but we're going to keep on. My guys work hard, Marcus Richmond, the crew chief, and he makes great calls. Steve Stallings and his whole crew, they just really come together. It's kind of like a big family. So, with the way the team's working together and the calls we're making, I feel like we're going to be pretty strong the rest of the year. Just keep our nose clean and bring our car home in one piece. I feel like we can better it for the next time.
You had Fallen Trucking Company on that car, but this year you gained a very valuable sponsor and a corporate sponsor on top of that, Textilese.
Textilese came on board the ASA race here earlier in the year, and been a great sponsor to us. Really treated me well. They always call and wish me good luck, and want to know how we're doing. And I'm on the phone every first of the week telling them how we've been doing and what's going on. So they're really interested in what's happening with our race team. And, Textilese is just a great uniform company, and people like them and Fallen Trucking, they deserve to be together.
Now, last but not least, we talked about it, I think, early in the year. I said, Tim, you got to have your own website. You got it now.
We got it now. I tell you, it's a pretty cool site, though. Dennis Granger in Danville, Virginia, he set it up for us, and it's just been real good. I got a lot of hits on it. The email I get from every fan that looks at it and have real nice things to say about it, and just like to, while we're on here, got a chance to plug it. They was real supportive when my dad passed, and got a lot of good information and people supporting us. So
really find out what your friends really like. Timothy Peters, good luck this weekend. You and Brandon Butler put on a whale of a show, and HC Sellers and Eddie Johnson, all those guys have stepped up. So
they're going to be tough to beat. Just hopefully we can get up there in the mix with them.
Okay, Timothy Peters, Providence, North Carolina. Renee Pierce, Pure Stock Ford driver, right? Pure Stock Ford driver. Renee, well, come on up. I don't remember. How many races have you run?
None.
That's why I didn't remember. I said, okay. I was going, Leanne, who's this up here? But first race coming up this weekend then.
Yeah, that's right.
You need to get out there. These guys need to, some of the ladies, show them how to race cars.
I hope so. I hope I can show them.
What got you involved? I know it's a pretty neat class. Orange County gets about 20, 25 a week. And but what got you involved? What wanted to get you out the grandstands here?
Well, actually, I was talking to my daughter about that the other day, and I told her, I said, what got me here anyways? And I was telling my better half up in the stands a while back ago, darling, I can do that.
And you're going to do it this weekend?
Yeah.
What type of car did you decide to go with when you decided to go pure stock 4 race?
It's a Daytona Charger, or Dodge.
Dodge is doing very well this year. You know, Sterling Marlin got Dodge in the victory lane, so not many Dodges out there. They run a lot of foreign cars in pure stock 4, so you're going to have to go out there and show them how the American cars can run there in the pure stock 4 class.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you this weekend. Have you got any? What are some of your goals heading into this weekend?
Well, just try to do the best I can and keep up with everybody.
Well, I know you'll have a lot of ladies in the stands that will be pulling for you this weekend. You know, up at Orange County, Tracy Chambers in Budweiser Modified 4. Tracy's leading the point standing, so she's doing a real good job, and it's good to have the diversity we are getting in racing.
Yeah. I've watched Tracy, and she's doing a fantastic job, and I'm glad to see her out there.
Okay. Well, good luck this weekend, and appreciate you coming by and stopping and talking to us. And we'll see you Saturday night, maybe in Victory Lane, right?
I'd like to think so.
Well, you gotta set your goals high, right, Harry Hodge? You got to get out there and go. But again, I appreciate you coming by. Okay. We're going to get the next guest in here in just a second. Real happy tonight to have one of our most recent winners here in NASCAR here over the past few months, and we're going to bring up. They call him Rapid Ray Young out of Bassett, Virginia. And Ray, good practice today or what?
Yeah, we was good right off the truck. Car run, real fast right off the truck, and seemed like the more we worked on it, worse we got it. But that never fails. We always manage to screw it up. So, but looking forward to Saturday. We're gonna come back down here, and hadn't been down here in about 2 months. Last time we was down here, we run second, and we got the car dialed back in that last practice, and I think we're going to be in good shape.
Good run last weekend up in Altamont Hall, North Carolina. You in victory lane after qualifying. Did not qualify right there up front?
Yeah, we qualified on the pole, and they done the invert thing. I took a lead with like 18 to go, and we won 3 in a row up there. We hadn't run up there every week. We skip a week. We just been jumping around, really enjoying racing this year. I mean, we hadn't been in no point battles. Don't want to be in no point battle. Don't want to mess nobody up. It's in one. We just, we're just going for the wins.
Packaging products about a familiar name, the color scheme and all. I know you're looking forward to going to Martinsville next month because it seems like these cars and the drivers always do well when they go to Martinsville.
Yeah, it's a hometown track for us. Bassett's not far from Martinsville. It's probably about 10 miles, and we've always had a lot of good luck there, and we should have won a couple races, and had a little bit of bad luck towards the end. But last year Ray Young wasn't even around anywhere. Packaging Products had sold out his racing efforts, and he elected to go back this year, and he chose me to go back driving with him, and we've had a real successful season. Taco Bell 300 is kind of race. It can really put a black mark on your whole season, or it can make you a hero. No doubt about it. Like Timothy Peters, who ran there last year, would goof all, and they had only been together a couple of races. Yeah, I mean, Martinsville's hard on everybody. It's a prestige race. It's it's a Daytona for all the late model stock guys, and you go up there, either you do real good or you just do real bad, and not to make that race is I've not made it before, and it's real disappointing. You got 130, 140 cars trying to make a 40-car field, and it's hard on the drivers. It's it's a lot of fatigue all during the race, and stressful all weekend. You just want to get through Sunday, and but we're looking forward to the race. We're the hometown people up there. We get a lot of fans that come in just to see us run that weekend, and maybe we can go over and get in the show and have a good run. Be nice, of course. Top 20. It's a long shot for anybody, even the best in late model, but top 20 would be nice. That way you can kick back. Yeah, they've made it tougher and tougher every year. They've got the cars now where you can't touch them after qualifying. We used to do a lot of stuff, just for qualifying. We qualified on the outside pole. We'd change the fluid levels and stuff, and now they impound your car after qualifying. You cannot touch them for the race or anything, make any adjustments. And it really puts a lot of different planning and ideas into what you want to do for that weekend, whether you want to just go for the qualifying deal or maybe back up into a heat race, but yet have a good a race setup. I've never been around. I've been around Martinsville Speedway, not at speed like you guys do in late model. What's it like to go down those straightaways at full bore and then hit those corners? Well, the first time I went to Martinsville, I'd been racing at Frank County Speedway. It's got the short corners, much like, South Boston here used to be. It was real tight. You was in a turn all the time. We went to Martinsville, and, man, I'm telling you what, I was going down the straightaway looking around in the car and chewing gum, and I'm like, man, is this straightaway ever going in? But then when that corner comes up, I mean, you grab a handful of brakes and sucking it down to the bottom and holding on, then you get to do it again down the back straight.
Winston, you see the Winston Cup guys all the time. They really light those brakes up. They come up with a lot of technology to keep those brakes a lot cooler than it used to be. But what does the late model guys do to save those brakes?
Well, it's hard to save your brakes. I've got a soft pedal just about every time I've ever been up there, and we try to really prepare. We go with new brake systems. The NASCAR, it's the only thing I disagree with, and they got the late models where they don't have it's 2,000-mile cars and still got the 60 miles brakes on it. I mean, it's a single piston. They don't want you getting down the corner too far and picking the speed up. Where the Winston Cup run, a 4 or 6 piston brake system on it, and keeping your brakes up there with a single. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people that's won a race. Hyder's won it, Powell's won it, Philip Morris won it. Everybody's brake gets soft towards the end of the race.
This is the fall festival of speed for the late model guys. You got a lot of choices, a lot of $10,000 races, $5,000 races. South Boston's got a $15,000 to win. The Bailey's $300. So this is the time of the year that you guys really get tough.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why we've jumped around this year. We're getting ready to go in what I call money season. We've run all the local tracks we can run. I've been running down Ace because Ace is something similar to Martinsville. If you can really turn in the corners, it's two entire different straightaways as far as gears, but if you can turn, stay on the brake, and then keep the brakes under you, that's one of the reasons why we go down there. And plus, we're coming down here this weekend because of the Hoosier tire. They're going to be running the same tire they have here at South Boston at Martinsville, and we're trying to get our front end settings and all.
Ray Young, we're going to let you go in a minute, but where did the name Rapid Ray Young come from? Before I knew you, I knew the name Rapid Ray Young.
Well, me and one of my buddies used to race go-karts, and we was actually team members. And we got out and was racing a race one night, and I spun him out, and he was mad as fire when we got up to the pits. And he said, you drive just exactly like that Rapid Ray Hendricks did. And it kind of stuck to me then. I mean, he was a role model.
I just want to get a margin.
Yeah, I mean, he was a role model of mine when I was growing up, back in the Buck Stevens days and Ray Hendricks and Charlie Jazombach, Richie Evans. I used to follow the modified. Yeah, and then the 57 number actually comes from Johnny Bryan. He used to help Johnny Bryan on the modified, and we just wanted to keep running the 57.
Well, Rapid Ray Young, keep it rapid this weekend for the big race. Of course, twin 75s. You had a good run last time you was here. Get a little bit better and go to Victory Lane this week.
Well, I hope so. I've won races all over the country. I've never won one in South Boston. I've been close. I've led late, led money races. And we won a heat race down here last year driving the Crawford Masonry car. But, I want to win down here. I'd probably trade several of the other ones for a win at South Boston.
Eddie Johnson did it a few weeks ago, man. He struggled to get in Victory Lane, so maybe to have him this week.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good job. Rapid Ray Young on broadcast tonight, 96.7 WKRX. Well, a driver who has victory lane many times. He's somewhat of a legend at South Boston and many-time track champion and limited sportsman. He's trying to defend that track champion from last year. It's been tough. A lot of good competition in limited sportsman. Billy Myers from Hurt, Virginia. And, Billy, you are the point leader up here trying to tweak it for this weekend's Twin 40s.
Yeah, we only have a 6-point lead. And I tell you, the late model, I don't think it's but 2 points. So I guess my 6 points is not that bad. So it'll actually go down to the wire, probably the last race. Ryan Francisco is running fantastic. He's a good kid. He's run real good all year long. And we've been struggling a little bit. We won the first 3 races, and then looked like we kind of got off a little bit when the weather warmed up. But we practiced pretty good tonight. The first part was kind of like Ray Young was talking about. We adjusted ourselves at the ballpark and we slowed down. But you got to try stuff to get faster because everybody else is.
This weekend's race, it is a turning point for the season. That Atlantic Seaboard is so important. You've been in a situation where you've won the Short Track Series championship at a track for NASCAR, and it's so important to carry that banner and that flag of NASCAR along with a trophy that sets it home on that mantle because it goes forever.
Yeah, we won a championship in '97 and we won it in 2000, and of course we're leading again this year. But I think we are 4th or 5th in that Atlantic Seaboard region deal, and that's pretty good because there's a lot of cars involved in that.
What was so amazing a few years back when I was here? You won the championship, but you did not win not one race.
Yeah, I'm reminded of that too often. But David Blankenship has probably won more races than anybody, and that year, he only won one race, and he won that because of a wreck, I think, at the end of a race. So consistency is what wins championships, and everybody wants to win. We're leading points by only 6 points. We had a little tough luck a few races ago and got disqualified for our engine being just a little bit too low. So we should have a big lead, but now we got a small lead. And we ran the whole year, and the worst we have finished is 4th, so that's not bad.
Not bad. The car's always been and looked like one piece when you rolled it into the trailer.
Yeah, that means a lot. A lot of guys are upset when they finish, 4th, 5th, and 6th. But the way I look at it, if you finish the race and you can drive it up on the trailer, you hadn't had a bad night at all.
You've had some new people step up to the plate to help you out a little bit as of late.
Yeah, LC Trucking, longtime friend, and things are a little slow in the trucking company business right now, so he hadn't been able to help me this year. And Bass Automatic Transmission Parts in Lynchburg, Virginia, has helped us some. But we was almost down and out, and Wayne Carter with Pit Stop Auto Sales, which sponsors Terry Deese at Orange County, he's going to help us out the last 3 races. And I'll be honest with you, one for Wayne, I don't know what I'd do.
Wayne has always been around racing a long time. They're having a good year up there at Orange County Speedway.
I tell you, Terry's a super good driver, and Wayne is a fantastic car owner, and Wayne has just been a good friend. I drove for Wayne years ago and just had a real good time with him, and I hope Terry and him can win a championship.
Well, good job, Billy. It's a pretty neat deal. We step in here, Hatchet Transportation, another trucking company supporting our efforts tonight with the broadcast, and it's a pretty neat deal. I need to just leave this thing down here. We'll come down here every week.
Yeah, I like it. Yes, let's do this again some other time.
Billy Myers, good luck this weekend. Twin 40s points race tight, but it's better to have 6 than 2. I guess going into this weekend. That's what Brandon Butler's saying about that Timothy Peters battle. H.G. Sellers and Eddie Johnson, a couple of points separating those guys, 3rd and 4th in the points. Who we got next on the air coming up with us?
How you doing? My name's Robert Buster. I drive the number 4 Grease Lightning Pontiac in the Pure Stock division.
Pretty neat class. We had a young lady come up here a while ago going to join you guys this weekend.
Oh yeah, and I'm real excited to have more cars join the division, and also have a female driver, because I think a female driver, being that I don't want to say a novelty because I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but this will be the only class that we have a female driver out at this track. So I think it'll bring a lot to this division and draw a lot of attention to this division.
Robert, your experience so far in this Pure Stock 4, you're probably one of those guys that always wanted to drive a race car on a NASCAR track. This is the best way to do it.
You are exactly right. This is my first year driving. We missed the first 2 races, so we've only made 7 starts. Out of 7 starts, we got 3 top 5s and 7 top 10s. Can't complain about that, sitting 3rd in points. But you're absolutely right. We come out here, we've got maybe $3,000 or $4,000 in our car, and that's top end. That's everything, all the changes you've made, and I don't know anywhere else that you can go racing for $3,000 or $4,000 and just have a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. The guys seem to be pretty close too in the racing community, like at Orange County. They've got 20, 25 cars each week. Of course, a guy from Raleigh-Durham, Augie Sacoccio, leading the points here, and he's got a lot of experience. He won the veterans in the Pure Stock 4 class.
Yes, he is. And Jeff Wilson, and Brent Farrell, those guys coming up from Orange County. I tell you what, my first race out here, I didn't know what I was doing. I took the car off the trailer. They said, man, what's the problem here? You don't have any camber there? And those guys ripped my front tire off, tried to bang me in some camber, and I mean, you cannot ask for a better group of guys to race with. I mean, who else is going to go out there and say, man, I know I'm raced against you, but let me help you out here because you obviously lost.
That is not bad, when the guys come up, help you out. You knew what to do. You got a little money invested. A little nervous about starting the deal too, probably.
Actually, no, I wasn't, because I was too excited to be nervous. I was nervous the first time I pulled the car into the track. The first time I went out for practice, I was a little nervous. But once I got out there racing with these guys, and like I said, we're all just out there to have fun. And so, the competitors help put you at ease in this division. And like I said, it's just a lot of fun and not a whole lot of money involved in it.
Robbie, you got one of those long races coming up. I hear they're putting up, a 50-lapper coming up for long? That's going to seem like the Daytona 500 for you guys.
It is. I mean, considering it's going to be 3 times longer than any race we've run here. But, watch that number 4 car in the 50-lap race, because I think we got it set up for a good long run.
Appreciate you coming up, joining the broadcast tonight. Robert Puster, Pure Stock 4 driver, coming up and going to be running this weekend. And it's a pretty neat class. I've learned to like that class. They tend to make them go 3 wide and whatever they need to do to get the job done. Do want to thank our sponsors here tonight on the broadcast, but can't thank the folks at Hatchet Transportation, Jerry Hatchett, and Company, who provided us the motorhome here on the infield where practice is still going on at South Boston. Do want to thank Barnhill Equipment Company. They're your John Deere dealer in Durham, North Carolina, 4415 Chapel Hill Boulevard. For $299, you can get the JS60. Walk behind, as always, specially priced always for deer season. And also remember, tractors of every size, terms for everyone. Barnhill Equipment Company in Durham, sales, parts, and service, where nothing runs like a deer. Dave Bratcher's got an update. We've had one winner so far. The 99, the Richard Childress did. Brenda Bottoms got it right. Okay, so Richard Childress. How many wins Rich Childress had in racing as a car owner? You guys know? Getting close. This weekend, maybe. Harvick got 99 last weekend. Who we got? Step on up. Let's talk to some of the drivers here at South Boston. Your name, sir?
Troy Dowdy.
Troy, you one of the newcomers here to South Boston in competition?
Yeah, come down here this year. We ran dirt for the past 2 or 3 years and wanted to move up a little bit and found a good car, so we'll come down here and try it out.
A little bit cleaner when you go home. You ain't got a lot of dirt to clean up, right?
Whole lot cleaner, especially when it rains.
And it gets tough with the mud and all out there on those dirt. What dirt track did you run on?
Natural Bridge.
Up in Virginia, Natural Bridge. You know, I've been up there, rode motorcycles up there. Beautiful place. People don't realize that's one of the 7, natural wonders of the world. That's what they say?
Yeah, I think so.
Next to the racetrack.
Yeah, next to the racetrack.
But your experience so far here at South Boston?
I've only got to race once. We've been down here and practiced twice. Other than the week before last, it got rained out. I enjoyed it a lot. My cousins and uncles and everybody helped me out a whole lot on the car, and got some good guys helping me that do a whole lot to the car when I can't work on it. So I really enjoy it down here.
It's a good job. The track, Kathy Rice and them, they do a real good job getting the track. I think Joe Mattiola's tried a little bit of everything, from putting a swimming pool in and palm trees to trying all these new classes, the Featherlight Modifieds, the Craftsman Truck Series, which I know you guys, and I know I am looking forward to seeing those guys run here on the 4/10 of a mile.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying to come down here and watch that. It should be some good beating and banging in that race.
You guys got to be beating and banging this weekend, right?
Yeah, the first race I raced down here, we had a pile up in 3 and 4. Just barely got through it, and a guy come off top and hit me, and we come back and finished 5th that night, so we was pretty happy with that.
You can get drop kicked real quick in competition. See, I got the best seat in the house. Announcer from up there in that bird's nest they got me up on. It gets hot up there, but I got the best seat in the house, so I couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, you definitely get hit around a little bit, but that's racing as far as I'm concerned.
That's racing. If it weren't racing, it wouldn't be like it is today, right?
Exactly right.
Well, look, good luck this weekend. Good to have you on the show for a few moments on Race Talk.
My name is Darrell Lax.
Darrell, good to have you on the show.
Thank you, appreciate it. We used to race late model down here a few years back, but it's gotten so that we just couldn't compete with the sponsorship money and so forth. So now I'm running a Rolling Thunder modified car, and also Southern Vintage Modifieds, which they've run down here at South Boston a couple times, and we've got one more race of that with the Southern Vintage at New River Valley on September the 7th.
Darrell, know the name very well, just hadn't been around to talk to you as much. The Vintage Modifieds kind of bring people back to the 40s and 50s, or 1950s, when the Modifieds used to run here at South Boston, even when it was dirt.
Right, exactly. The way I understand it, the Vintage Modifieds, what we're running now is real up-to-date equipment and everything as far as the car itself, but you have to run 30-some model body with a coupe body or a what they call a coach body. And what really started with NASCAR and all in the first place. And like when they, years ago, I guess it was in, like you said, in the 50s and 60s, they run all the coupes and everything. That was the main class here at South Boston and different other tracks in the area.
It's got to be neat to fire one of those cars up, roll out onto the bank here. You probably go back, you probably think back maybe 30, 40 years sometime when you climb up in there. Of course, you're not that old, I'm sure, but you got to think about the history that those cars have had here at this racetrack.
Oh, yeah, it sure is. And I grew up watching them myself, and that's mainly where I got interested and started in racing. Is my father and Buck Duval and had a modified car, the old coupe that they used to run. And now that I'm driving a car for Buck Duval, and with all his heritage and past and everything in the history of NASCAR, it's really neat to be running with them.
The Rolling Thunder Modified, that takes you back up a little bit. You got a newer model modified car now, the Rolling Thunder Modified. Thomas Stenson's having a pretty awesome year so far, leading the points.
Yeah, it really is. I wanted to run more of that. I've got a Rolling Thunder modified that I own myself, me and my father. And I broke my leg a while back, and I'm just scared right now that I can't make it longer races. But next year I'm going to run a Rolling Thunder a whole lot more than I did this year.
Well, their fans really like them. I think they appreciate the division and the class that they brought to this racetrack. And it's just like what I've been saying all night long. You know, Kathy Rice and Joe Mattioli trying to bring a totally diverse group of racing in here, from open wheels to the truck series and to ASA to the Usacs to the Rolling Thunder Modifieds. They've done a little bit of everything to really bring the race fans in.
Yeah, they really have. I like what she's doing with these special events and things like that. Like you said, the Rolling Thunder Modifieds, the Vintage Modifieds, Featherlight Modifieds, but still have a late model regular show going on. And she's broke it up where it makes special events and everything rather than just the same thing going on each weekend.
You know, I guess when he first rolled out here for the vintage, Monk Tate, I remember so well when he ran late model Sportsman, when he ran at South Boston, and when he ran at Trico Speedway up, and when he rolled out this car, it just brought back a lot of memories. His name.
Yeah, it sure does. He's running with us. He's doing good, and he ran with us last week up in New River Valley. And like you said, the cars are really, really fast, but they still have the same old look, the old real wide tires and everything like it used to run. And we're trying to get more cars and everything to get into this class. Right now we've got probably 15 of them that's built, but on the average we're not getting about 8 or 9 cars or so per race. And then promoters at the tracks, now if we can get a bigger field of cars, I think it'll help us progress this class along. So
good deal. Appreciate you coming up talking about the history and the classes and all you running now in competition. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you a lot.
Thank you a whole lot. The Lax name's been around a long time. I don't know how many his dad or any other family members have been or in race.
Yeah, my father's in the vintage modifieds with us, and my brother's run some. His name's Donnie Lax, and he used to have a late model stock car, and I had one both. And like I said, it was kind of tough on us. Both of us trying to run the same class with the minimum funding and all that we have.
Good things cost.
Yeah, they sure do. To run up front, I mean, you can run and it don't cost that terribly bad, but to run up front, you got to stay on top of it all the time.
Good deal. Good luck to the whole Lax family on their racing endeavors. Good to have you on tonight. Race Talk on 96.7 WKRX tonight. Well, coming up next on my show happens to be Mr. Mac Reagan. Provides the official tow service, wrecker service. The guys don't like him, but anyway. Mac, come on up. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Just fine, sir. Nice to be here.
I call him Santa. You can probably tell. I remember being at the banquet last year at different times, but you support the racetrack quite a bit over the past couple of years, and mentioned you do provide the tow services, top-notch vehicles, and the guys do not like to see you neither, at all.
No, they don't. They come around most of the time earlier says, we don't want to see you anymore tonight. But I'm glad to go around and speak to all of them, you know, when they come in. And
they don't mind the wreck. It's the rollback they have a problem with.
That's right. Hey, that really disturbs them when they have to have a rollback or either two wreckers, piggyback them off the tracks. We don't want to see you anymore.
You know, Franklin's was such a big name, you know, in the South Boston and Martinsville Speedway. Franklin's Wrecker Service, the green and white. Now the blue and white done took over.
Well, that was just a color scheme that I picked up. The his was green and white, and I'm proud to be here. And it's been an honor to be in South Boston Speedway for a long time. And you know, I was asked years ago, and I would like to congratulate my guys that worked for me because I couldn't do it by myself.
You know, we try to remember those guys up in the booth on Saturday night here, as you very well know. But they're the ones that sometimes do all the work. Sometimes they have extensive cleanup and things they have to work hard for, and a lot of times they don't get thanked for the job that they do.
That's true, and I would like to say with the towing service and with all the emergency medical service, fire department, all of us work well together, and I'm proud to be here and proud to say that we do work together, and I'm thankful for it because that's the only way you can survive is everybody work together.
Well, I know you haul cars in, but you also haul them in and sell them. Well, not haul them in and sell them, but you drive them in and sell them. You do work in the used car business as well.
Oh, yes. I've got a full-fledged garage, and we do used car service, we do towing service, and we in the U-Haul business. So, in other words, if a guy breaks down, you might take pieces of his car and throw them in the back of the U-Haul, rent it, and go home with it.
Racing at South Boston. Kathy and him done a good job. Joe Mattioli's he's done a lot. I keep talking about creating diversity amongst the different racing brand names and the different things he's bringing in from ASA to the trucks to Usac.
Yes, he's done a fantastic job, and I would like to say for South Boston Speedway, this is one of the things that we have in South Boston that we draw people from far and near, and this is something, one thing that Halifax County has, and I would like to say I wish Halifax County and South Boston would support it more openly so that he can get not to support Joe, but I'm saying to support everybody in the area, because this is what we need, because this is the only drawing card we have, and for any guest that we have to come in, this is the only place they got to go, South Boston Speedway, Clarksville and all.
That's right. You know, Orange County is just important in Orange County Speedway back in Rougemont.
Yes, it is, and that has made Roxborough, brought them on the map, so to say. Although the Burton boys helped South Boston, but let's face facts, South Boston Speedway is what helped them too.
That's right. Mac Reagan, good to have you here tonight. And you guys get to work Saturday night. I get this feeling, I don't know if you've thought about it, they got 7 races Saturday night, so you may be busy.
Oh, Lord, it scares me to death. But we can handle it. Hey, I've got good guys, and I thank them for helping me, and I'll thank you for them.
You got to let that beard grow out a little bit before December.
Yes, because Santa Claus is coming.
Mac Reagan, it's good talking to him tonight on the broadcast. 96.7 WKRX, and we appreciate him stepping up. He provides the official tow services for South Boston, and the guys that don't quite end up the way they want to, and that's in Victory Lane. I've never seen Mac pull one out of Victory Lane or pull one to Victory Lane. So, anyway, he'll be working the deal this weekend and does a fine job in working the Speedway security deal as far as the safety tow vehicle, the official tow vehicle, I guess you could say, of South Boston.
How you doing? Of course, Parks. Pretty good. Just out here trying to do a little practicing.
Mark, what class you running in?
Late model stock.
Late model. You haven't run all season here, but you've run a limited number of races in Twin 75 this weekend.
Yeah, I'm just trying to come out here and get ready for November 11th race. I'm on a real big bad budget. I have no sponsors and all, but I'm just trying to get a little practice in for the 300 lap race, Bailey's race, and just trying to go from there.
Yeah, that's the big race. What about the Taco Bell 300? Any chance all the guys trying to hit at that race? But I know some guys that's got plenty of money. They won't even go touch that track for the Taco Bell 300.
Well, I believe they're pretty smart. It costs a lot of money to run there, and it's really, if you put the odds together, it's harder to make that race than what it is a Winston Cup race, because you got at least 130 cars there, and it's just the odds is pretty slim to none to make the field. But I tried it last year, and I enjoyed just experience going down there. Now, I mean, I'd like to do it again, but just right now, I'm not gonna be able to do that.
Just wait a little while. But what about your experience so far at South Boston? What's some of the other tracks you've run at?
I've run New River and South Boston. I grew up running dirt tracks down in Texas. I moved up here to try to do a little asphalt racing, but just trying to go from there,
We get a lot of people, B.A. Wilson came up from Texas, won the track championship here in late model a few years ago. Frank Denny Jr. Up in Orange County leading the points in late model. He came out of California, and I can't help but those guys say, hey, like Frank Denny said, he said you go to North Carolina to race. If you want to go to Hollywood, you go to California.
That's pretty much. South Boston's a well-known track, and I'm living out here in Forest, Virginia, and I enjoy coming over here. The people's real nice, and they got good incentives for the competitors to come over here and race. I just can't believe there's not as many cars over here as what there is, because they really got good incentives for everybody to race over here. I believe they need a few more cars over here.
Mark, can't help it. You still got that Texas accent. I can still detect a little bit of Texas in it, don't you, Harry?
Well, can't change too much, It just it just comes with it, I guess.
How about the dirt? How the dirt track cars help you get into asphalt racing? I mean, is it a lot easier? Is it a lot harder?
Well, I don't know. I believe in a dirt car, if you got a few problems, you kind of overcome it a little easier. In an asphalt car, the competition is so tight. If you're a little off, you look like you're real slow. It's just main thing is getting these cars set up and being real consistent. And, running a good groove. But I'm just working on it, trying to get a little bit more experience.
So originally, from what part of Texas you come from?
Beaumont, Texas, the southeast part of Texas.
Okay. Everybody thinks of horses and big. What do you call it? Big. Dallas, stuff like that, but is that what it's all about?
It depends where you go. There's a lot of cowboys and everything over there. It's just as far as you go anywhere. I mean, you can have a bunch of farmers, cowboys, and just a bunch of more business people. It just depends where you go.
North Carolina and Texas, a lot alike. Texas just 5 times bigger, that's all.
That's pretty much about it.
Mark Parks, good week. Good luck this weekend for the race. Kathy's bringing fireworks in. I didn't know all about it. I keep telling the people back at home that we're going to have fireworks this weekend, and they had such a real nice deal July 4th. I think it just adds to cap off the 7 races she's going to have here this weekend.
Yeah, last 4th of July I run that race, and I give some pre-fireworks display, and got involved in a little wreck, and they made a few little comments about me on TV. It was pretty funny, but I enjoyed it.
Twin 75 this weekend, so you gotta really do well and keep the car in one piece in that first race, but also save those tires and save that car for the second race coming up.
That's pretty much about it. It's just watch out for people making stupid moves. I reckon it's pretty close.
Okay, good luck this weekend. Appreciate you stepping in tonight. And we'll see you Saturday night here at South Boston Speedway. Mark Parks, right? Stepping in. All the way from Texas. Used to be a dirt track driver. Now he's coming up to race asphalt at South Boston. This is South Boston world famous. 44 years racing action. Okay, we're going to ask another trivia question for a pair of tickets to South Boston Speedway and also a WINS Racing hat and T-shirt. We got the warranty deal on board. We're going to tell you about that in just a moment. But I do want to mention our next trivia question, and it is how many different Winston Cup winners have there been at Darlington? Dave Bratchard and Harry Hodges want to know how many different winners or different drivers have won NASCAR Winston Cup Series races at the monster, well, they call it the Lady in Black track. It's too tough to tame. But there are a number of drivers that have tamed that track, and we've got the number. Call us up, 599-0266. Bill Lester will take your calls back at the studio. Yes. How about it? And tell everybody out there your name.
I'm Leanne Robertson, and I'm the Marketing and Promotions Director here at the Speedway.
Leanne, you've been with the track, since 3 or 4 or 5 months now?
Actually, 2.5.
2.5 months. It seems like you've been here 5 or 6 months. You probably felt like you've been here.
That's true. I just graduated from Elon. I was very fortunate that Mr. Mattioli and Kathy and all of them hired me on board, so I'm really proud to be working here.
Elon College, it's up there next to that other track, A Speedway in Altamaha.
Exactly. In 4 years, I only went there one time.
Knows nothing about A Speedway, but tell us about your background as far as your studies and what brought you to South Boston. Of course, they hired you to come on board, and tell us about your experience so far.
Well, I graduated, as I said, in May with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Communications and Journalism. Minored in business. Only took one marketing class, but come here, did marketing. I'm hoping I'm doing a good job here. It's a different experience, obviously, but I'm enjoying it. It's racing, and that's the most important thing to me.
Do you like racing? Have you always been brought up in a racing environment?
Absolutely. I went to my first race at 5 months, so I've been kind of born in the sport, actually.
My kid didn't go until he was 2 years old, so you did all right.
Exactly.
Tell us about the things that you're having to work on for the track coming up, because the next 2 months, maybe the next 3 months, are some of the busiest times and probably some of the favorite times for the Speedway, with the Craftsman trucks coming up, the monster trucks, and Usac, and the big late model race.
Well, a lot of what I've been working on is the promotions, and we've been fortunate to team up with John Boy and Billy, who are, of course, presenting the truck race. We have a lot of promotions through them, Hardee's, MRN, bringing a lot of folks in here to the track for the truck race. We got Bailey's coming in November, and it's a good opportunity to get more people involved with South Boston Speedway.
Any future aspirations? I know you want to get your feet wet here at South Boston, but what is your real goals, as far as journalism? Is it still in motorsports, or is it in some other type of journalism?
It is. It's either motorsports journalism, motorsports public relations. Hope to get in Winston Cup one day, just like the drivers.
Well, that's good. And when you've got South Boston on your resume, and Joe Mattioli, and NASCAR, with all the things they've been doing here at this racetrack, that can do nothing but carry you further. That's true. And like I said, I just want to thank all of them for having me come on board here. Appreciate you stepping up here. Well, on the show tonight is Mr. Jerry Hatchett. Come here, Jerry. Talk to me. Jerry, come on up here. You provided us with this real nice deal tonight. We have brought a lot of drivers in your motor home tonight, and we appreciate you helping us put this show on for Kathy Rice tonight.
Well, y'all welcome. Kathy and them's been real good to us, and we enjoy coming to South Boston. We have a son that races here, and unfortunately we don't get to spend as much time down here as we'd like to, but we're from over in Franklin County area, and business in Bassett, and we sort of stay busy, so racing is just a hobby for us. And Chris is a pretty good competitor, and he's become one of the seasoned drivers in late model stock, one of the toughest short tracks in the country. Oh, yeah. Well, that's one reason we race at South Boston. We've been to other places, but like I say, the best competition's around here in South Boston, and we really enjoy racing here. But like I say, it's just a little tough to come out every other week and do it. and especially when you have a business stuff to look after, and it makes it a little tough, but we really enjoy it.
Hatchet Transportation, I mentioned it a few times, but how old is the transportation business?
Bonnie and I started the business with another couple in 1982, and we bought them out, I think, in 87. So I guess we're 19 years old.
And they do get upset if people don't pay there, so.
Yeah, that's correct. And like I say, she does right well with that. Now, like I say, I don't know whether you've heard the old saying, behind every good man is a woman. Well, if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be here either. So
that's a good deal. That's a good deal. Good comments from Jerry Hatchett. I always wanted to get my CDL license. I always been in the white collar race, and I thought, things are a little slow right now. You probably know that, manufacturing around the country operation. But I was thinking, what have I got to do to get my CDL license these days?
Well, first thing you got to do is be able to pass the drug screen, okay?
I got that covered. All
right, you got to be able to pass the DOT physical.
I got that covered. I had one in July.
All right. Then we're going to take and train you, okay?
How many hours? How long does it take these days?
Well, I can usually take a guy that comes off a farm, been around farm machinery. I could usually have him where he can drive a truck in about 2 days.
Do I look like a farm? I used to farm. My family used to farm too, by the way. But I had my Class B license at one point in time. I did.
Well, I started out years ago. First time I ever drove a truck, I was 18 years old, and the guy I was working for, I was running the warehouse at Bassett, and he called down and told me one day, he said, go down to Motor Pool and bring us such and such a trailer up to this factory. And so I went and hooked to the trailer and brought it up to the factory, and there's a bunch of Roy Stone drivers, and Roy Stone's out of business now, a bunch of their drivers there, and I think he bet each one of them $20 that I would back it in the hole the first time and would never have to pull up. Well, being that, all of them thought that was a pretty good bet. So I think 8 of them took him up on it, and the last one went in the dock before me. He jacked the truck sideways so it'd take up a little extra room. Well, I pulled up, and we had 45-foot trailers then, and then we're running 53. So pulled up, backed it in the hole first time, never had to pull up, and he collected his $160, come out and give me 20. So I feel like I've done pretty good with it.
You did all right, but I tell you what, if I want to get my CDL license, I come see you. I'll stay with you overnight one night and get my CDL license 2 days.
I don't know whether I can train you that quick or not, John.
We'll get some preliminary training in. Won't get my pilot's license, but I get some hours in.
Well, we could probably train you. Like I say, it takes some people 2 days. It takes some people 2 months, and some of them never know it.
And you probably see a lot of them on the road today.
It's a few out there, but it's just like anything else in trucking industry. It's just like general public. There's always too much talk about 2% bad, not about the 98% good. And then you find that in the general public out here, whether it's race car drivers or announcers or track owners or anything, The 2% bad gives everybody a bad name.
You hear me announce it everywhere. Obviously, you hear me announce most of the time.
Most time I'm down here in the pits, and I don't get to hear a lot from what you say, but I think you do a pretty good job.
Okay, well, that makes me feel good. Jerry Hatchett, and we appreciate you bringing the motorhome down tonight. We got a lot of guests that came through. Some of the folks here for the first time. I didn't know who they were. They came in for the first time, and but it was good. We had the show here tonight, and I think the drivers appreciate it.
Yeah, I heard Bonnie and I went out to dinner, and we had to go over and get some stuff at the grocery store, and heard Rapid Ray Young on. Rapid Ray Young is one of my neighbors at the trucking company, so he's right out the street from me, and his sister helps us on the race team some.
Good deal. Appreciate you doing this tonight.
Y'all welcome.
Whole lot. We really thank you a whole lot. Okay. Got a couple of more spots we're going to hit here in just a moment, but I do want to talk to Kathy Rice real quick before we get off there. And Kathy, so far we tried to wing this deal. This is the first time we've ever done this, but it's worked out well with Mr. Hatchett sitting over there, giving us a good place to bring the broadcast to the people.
That's right, John. And as I said earlier, I'd like to thank Jerry and Bonnie both for the use of their RV tonight, and thank WKRX and Channel 10 for being here.
Getting ready for this weekend, fireworks, as you told them out a little bit early. I've been talking about it tonight, so the fans probably listening up. And a lot of times you don't get a chance to see the fireworks unless you go to the State Fair in Raleigh or Richmond or maybe the big race of July 4th, but you're doing that special this weekend for the fans.
Yes, I am, John. I talked to Joe.
You talked to Joe a whole lot.
Yeah, I talked to Joe a lot. In fact, he didn't know about the fireworks until I mentioned it to him this week, and he said, fireworks? I said, yeah, I remember we did fireworks last year, and the fans really enjoyed it. So we've got a treat for them this Saturday night, and hope the weather cooperates with us and have a lot of the fireworks on the track and off the track as well.
Points race, you couldn't ask for a better points race in late model or limited. 2 points and 6 points separating the leaders. And you've got twin races coming up. That makes it that much tougher and more for the fans who want to come out and see this battle for the points race as it heats up this weekend. But you got 7 races. I counted them. 7 races you're running this weekend.
That's right. That's the reason we started at 6:30, John, on Saturday night. NASCAR, it's kind of tight on us to get the 18 races in, so we needed to double up this weekend, and so we'll have 18 with the late model and have 15 for the limited. So we still got one more for the limited because we got to do 16 for that. But that's the reason of the races starting at 6:30, green flag. Grandstand gates are open at 4:30.
Race time a little bit early. You said 1 hour, right?
Yeah, we moved everything up an hour, so we want all the fans to know that, like I said, 6:30 green flag. We want to be here and not miss any of the racing action Saturday night.
I want you to know my arm is very tired holding up these 2 mics.
I'm sure it is. I was sitting here looking at you a little bit ago. I'm sure you're going to probably need some help with your arm when you get home.
It will be sore, no doubt about it. But, Kathy, thank you so much. Kathy Rice and the staff going to be getting the race on this weekend. That's going to wrap it up for tonight. And remember, plenty of racing this weekend. South Boston on Saturday. Big card, 7 races, twin late model races, twin limited races, the points race coming down to the wire. The Atlantic Seaboard Championship on the line as well. You won't want to come out. Fireworks Saturday night. And also on Monday night, Orange County Speedway's in action as well. They start off an hour early as well. They'll have a 125-lap NASCAR weekly racing series late model live event. For everyone here for Roxborough Broadcasting who's come on the road tonight, and for Bill Lester back at the studio, I'm John Evans for this week's edition of Race Talk. Good evening.